Bob Cicherillo predicts 7th place finish for Nick Walker at 2025 Mr. Olympia. Bob Cicherillo predicts that Nick Walker will place 7th at 2025 Mr. Olympia. Nick Walker has impressed fans with his strong showings at 2 big bodybuilding contests recently. However, Bob Cicherillo, a respected expert in bodybuilding, believes Nick may not place in the top 5 at the 2025 Mr. Olympia. Nick Walker first partook in the 2025 Pittsburgh Pro, where he finished in 2nd place. However, the only man that outperformed him is the former Mr. Olympia champion, Derek Lunsford. Even then, a number of fans were convinced that Nick deserved to take the win. However, Nick did not wait long to stand on top of the podium, winning the 2025 New York Pro. Bob Cicherillo's thoughts on Nick Walker's potential at the Mr. Olympia. Bob Cicherillo opposed the opinion of many following Nick Walker's performance at the 2025 Pittsburgh Pro. While other experts, including Judge Steve Weinberger, believe that he could be a contender for the 2025 Mr. Olympia title, Bob stated that, in his opinion, there is no way of Nick taking 1st place. The argument out there in La La Land is that because Nick Walker almost beat Derek, it was tied, it went to overtime, he almost beat him, and therefore he is a legitimate contender to the Mr. Olympia title. Something which I've said will probably never happen, said Bob Cicherillo. Bob Cicherillo said the pose-off between Nick Walker and Derek Lunsford was very close, but he thinks Derek wasn't at his best that day. He compared it to last year's New York Pro, where Nick barely beat Martin Fitzwater in a tight pose battle. To explain, Bob used Nick Walker's own words from that time to describe how close those moments can be. It was as close between Nick and Martin as it was with Nick and Derek this year. That's how close it was. It was a 1-point decision. Could have gone the other way. So I'm going to use Nick's words: if you can't beat a Mr. Olympia, in this case, Derek Lunsford, at his worst, what makes you think you can beat him at his best, said Bob Cicherillo. Sean Ray offered a different view, saying surprises do happen in bodybuilding. He believes Nick Walker still has a good chance to win the 2025 Mr. Olympia. Sean compared Nick to Big Ramy, who had some weaknesses but still took the top prize. I never thought Big Ramy would be Mr. Olympia. So disproportionate. Quads are so overblown. Triceps are missing. The shoulders were overblown. The back didn't have the depth. He was the least likely candidate to become Mr. Olympia. Not only did he become Mr. Olympia, he did it twice, said Sean Ray. However, although Sean Ray does keep the hope alive, he thinks that a realistic outcome for Nick Walker at the 2025 Mr. Olympia would be batting for the top 5. Truth be told, I think Nick's gonna be fighting to remain or get back into the top 5. That's where I have Nick Walker in light of all that he's done, said Sean Ray. Predicted that Nick Walker would place 8th at the 2025 Mr. Olympia. However, following his recent performances, he moved him up to 7th in his predictions now. Bob also revealed 3 athletes that Nick can't beat in his opinion, and additional 3 athletes that he could challenge under exceptional circumstances. I'm going to move you, Nick, up 1 slot to 7th place. Hadi, Samson, Derek, those are 3 guys I do not believe, those are 3 Mr. Olympias. I don't believe under any circumstances, Nick can beat Andrew, Barrows, and Fitzwater. Those are 3 guys that, again at 100%, I think it would be challenging for Nick to get past them because every one of those guys is shaped better, put together better, don't have stomach issues, and present a very formidable physique, said Bob Cicherillo. Nick Walker backs himself against the best in the world, stating that he'll win the 2025 Mr. Olympia hands down. Having recently qualified for the competition by winning the New York Pro, Nick can now focus on further improving his physique and working toward his goal. The 2025 Mr. Olympia is scheduled to take place on October 9th to 12th in Las Vegas, leaving Nick with less than half a year to prepare.